Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Nick, and I represent Braemar College in the Middle East. And today we have a team of Braemar. We have Tolu from the West Africa region. Hi, Tolu. All right, and we have the great guest of ours from the University of Toronto, which is Natasha. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Natasha. Natasha is the Assistant Director from International Student Recruitment of the University of Toronto. And as you can see today, we'll focus on Canada, on education in Canada. We'll have a brief presentation of Braemar College as a representative of private schools in Canada. And later we'll give the word to Natasha for the University of Toronto presentation. And of course, we have a Q&A session after the presentation. So in case you have a question, you can just type the question in the chat, and we have the administrator of the chat. So but please mention whom are you referring to, in case it's the Middle East or Africa or the University of Toronto in general. So we'll just start with the presentation of Braemar College. Let me share the screen. Okay. So, in case I can hide this window in the way. All right. Today we'll speak about the education in Canada. We'll have a brief presentation of Braemar College, and then we'll proceed to the University of Toronto. So just a few words about Canada, why Canada is such a great place for education, for studying, and why so many students select this country. Canada is number 10 economic power in the world. It's a huge country, a very big one. It's number 4 in its economic development out of these 10 great countries. It's number 20 in the world per income and number 15 in the human rights protection. From the social aspect, we can just say that Canada has a population of 38 million people, which is not that high. That is why the government came up with a plan of attracting more citizens, more international students, for example, so that they could come to Canada, study, and stay in Canada in case they would like to do that. In terms of education, every year we have more than 600 students coming to Canada. 4 Canadian universities, such as the University of Toronto, British Columbia, McGill, and McMaster, are in the list of top 100 universities in the world. And the University of Toronto is number 1 in Canada and number 18 in the world. And today we have them with us. It's a great honor for us. So as for the Braemar, it's a private secondary school located in the very center of Toronto, which is a great, very beautiful and urban city, one of the biggest ones. And we offer grades 9 to 12, which are the last 4 years of education, and we prepare students for the admission to top universities in Canada and in the world. The school was founded in 1995, and currently we have 400 students from 30 countries. 90% are international, so we know how to deal with them and how to help them to adapt to Canada. So this is the campus of the school. As you can see, it's a 5-story building, which is located on the territory of St. George campus of the University of Toronto. It's the very center of the city, and it's very comfortable because it's very easy to move to the school and to the home state, for example, in case the student live in a suburb area. And of course, the U of T is very close to the school, as well as all the theaters, museums, and the interesting part of the city. It's the interesting part of the city, the downtown area. We are very proud that for the last 12 years, almost 40% of the students successfully managed to get to the University of Toronto. The rest selected in other partner universities, such as the York, the Ryerson, and the University of Waterloo. 25% selected the British Columbia or the United States. Braemar offers a very flexible educational system. We have 5 short terms a year, and each term is only 9 weeks long. That is why it's very effective and efficient for the students, and it's easier for them to study only 2 subjects a term, as compared to 4 in public schools. We have 5 academic pathways, and students in Braemar select subjects they need and they would like to study for the future admission to universities. So each of the student has a personalized and tailor-made study plan, which includes their previous academic results and their future goal. We accept students for grade 9, 10, 11, and of course, grade 12, because we transfer all the academic achievements to Canadian credit system, and they just continue where they finished in their home country. Grade 12, for example, the last year, the preparation year, students can finish only in 6 months using the Express Option program. It is also possible. Here's the example of the thematic pathways that we offer. You can see it's science and technology, business, humanities, art and design, and nursing. So the key point here is that students at Braemar in grade 11 and 12 select subjects they need for the future, grade 1, first year at the university. Here's a great example for our student, Kingsley, who completed O-level in Nigeria, which is the equivalent of grade 11. At Braemar, he took 7 credits. You can see them on the screen. And within three terms, he started the computer science program in September at the university. Our students can stay in either the residency or in the homestay family. Homestay family is the #1 option. It's more popular for our students. We have 400 families, many of whom we work since 1995. And we offer to our students 3 or 4 options of these homestay families, so they could select the family they like more and they're most comfortable with. Family is the supervision and the security, because the family is always in touch with the family and with the school, so we know where the students are and if we can help them in any way. And of course, it's the cultural experience because of the holidays and all the weekend they spend together. And it's a great way to know Canadian culture and the Western approach. We have a lot of activities going on apart from the academic dimension. We have the student parliament and the president of the school. We have additional classes and a lot of academic clubs going on in Braemar, and students can participate and enrich their portfolio. We have as well sports club, of course, football, volleyball, basketball going on annually. A lot of volunteering programs so that students could enrich their portfolio as well. We have more than 60 representatives, different speakers going on to Braemar annually from colleges and universities, where they give their classes, their lessons, and they try to encourage and invite our students for their studies. We have artists and writer in residence. These are creative, artistic professionals. And for students who are into art and design, they can work together and get some practical experience. And of course, we have a lot of field trips. We'll visit the Niagara Falls, the CN Tower, all the museums, theaters, baseball matches. All is on the menu. So as for the activities, the most popular clubs are the Computer Science and Robotics Club, the Technologies Club, Marketing and Business Club, and Theater and Cinema. In case there is a club the student is interested in, but we don't provide it, in this case, we'll provide the resources so that student could get a club they need. And we offer, it's the newest project, the Braemar Live. It's the online platform where students can join live classes from Toronto that air at 9 a.m. in Toronto time. Up to 5 students international can join these classes, and it is the ultimate level of cooperation and integration into the academic process. Another option is that students join us for 6 months of online classes and then proceed to in-class. They come to Toronto and they get the diploma in hand. Today we have the Natasha, who is the Assistant Director of the University of Toronto. It's the partner university of Braemar. We are very proud of that. It's the best university in Canada and number 18 in the world. It is incredible. And annually we have, it's an interesting fact, annually we have a Braemar student who receives a 5,000 Canadian dollar award, which is the Braemar College Award of Excellence that we have exclusively with this university. So now I'd like to pass the word to Natasha. Thank you so much for your attention. In case you have any questions, you can just type them or ask them after the presentation of the UPT. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm just going to get my screen going. Here we are. Hopefully everyone can see that okay. So thank you so much, Nick, for the introduction. My name is Natasha. I'm the Assistant Director of International Student Recruitment at the University of Toronto. I want to thank Braemar for having me here today and to thank all of you for watching. What we're going to do is take about 20 minutes or so, and I'm going to give you an overview of the University of Toronto. We'll talk a little bit about all three of our campuses, talk about some of our programs, and talk about some of the opportunities that students have outside the classroom when they're studying with us. The first thing that we want our students to know is that we are Canada's top university. As has been said a few times today in the session, we are Canada's top university. We're one of the world's best universities. As Nick just mentioned, we did rank 18th in the world, and that's according to the Times Higher Education. Now, I would never want a student solely to pick a university just based on how it ranks internationally, but what this speaks to is certainly the recognition and portability of a University of Toronto degree. So if you decide to come to U of T after going to Braemar, you can take your U of T degree anywhere. You can stay in Canada, go to the US, go to the UK, go home wherever you're from, and take your U of T degree with you. U of T, in fact, has about 600,000 living alumni in over 190 different countries and territories around the world. So our students do take their degrees everywhere. And not only are we one of Canada's best, but I mentioned we're one of the world's best universities, and that's partly due to the legacy of discovery and innovation that we have at the university. This year, we're very excited to be celebrating the 100th anniversary of the discovery of insulin, which we discovered at U of T 100 years ago, won the Nobel Prize in Medicine for that. And since that time, there have also been several other discoveries and incredible research that's gone on at the university that has helped shape the world, including things like stem cell research, the world's first nerve transplant. And these are just some of the examples that we have at U of T of that discovery and innovation. So that's part of the reason why we are recognized so well internationally. Now, the second thing that I want students to know about U of T, beyond the fact that we're Canada's best and one of the world's best universities, is that we are a network of unique communities in the heart of one of the most dynamic regions in the world, and that is the city of Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. We're consistently ranked one of the world's most livable regions. We're incredibly diverse. The city of Toronto alone has over 100 different languages spoken in the city. There's just over half of the population that was born outside of Canada. So you're coming to a very diverse, very multicultural city and area, and that's very much celebrated here in the city of Toronto. We are also North America's fourth largest city. So if you're thinking of Canada, the US, Mexico, the city of Toronto is right behind Mexico City, New York, and Los Angeles in terms of population. So anything you can imagine that a big city in North America can offer you, we will certainly be able to do that in the city of Toronto. And it's a great place to be a young person. Now, U of T was founded in 1827, and it's actually older than the city of Toronto and older than Canada. In fact, Canada was federated in 1867. So we've been around a long time. And really, as the city of Toronto has grown up, so has the university. And the city of Toronto is Canada's largest city. So naturally, we are Canada's largest university, which means you have a lot of choice when you're looking at U of T. And we're going to talk about choice in a moment. One thing to note with the University of Toronto is our student population is just over 90,000 students, and that includes everybody. So that includes all of our students studying undergraduate programs, their first bachelor's degrees, to students in master's and PhD programs in our graduate schools, and students studying things like pharmacy, medicine, law, dentistry, nursing, a lot of professional programs. So we're known in Canada as a comprehensive medical doctoral research university, which means we offer a little bit of everything at all levels of study. So you do have incredible choice when you're thinking about the University of Toronto. But one of the most important things to remember about U of T is that we never have 90,000 students in one place. So the first choice that you have at U of T is actually where you want to study. We have 3 campuses that students can choose from, and the biggest choice for these 3 campuses does come at that undergraduate level. So when you're looking at what kind of programs you're interested in studying, you can also consider what kind of campus experience you're looking for, because we have 3 very distinct campus experiences for students. All 3 of our campuses, including the Mississauga campus in the west, the St. George campus in downtown Toronto, across the street from Braemar College, and the Scarborough campus in the east end of Toronto, all 3 of these campuses are within about an hour of each other. And they all offer the same kind of high quality education that you would expect from a university that is 18th in the world, but they all have a little bit of a different fit. So when you're looking for a particular campus, you might have that big city, downtown urban campus experience in mind, or you might have something a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate, but with easy access to a big city. And we've got all three of those options, or all of those options for you when you're looking at U of T. So we're going to start with the U of T Mississauga campus, which is in the west end of the Greater Toronto Area. The city of Mississauga is immediately to the west of the city of Toronto, and with the U of T Mississauga campus, it's what we consider a mid-sized university campus in Canada. So we have about 15,000 students that study at U of T Mississauga, but it's on 225 acres of beautiful green space with lots of trees and grass and walking trails. A lot of the buildings have been built very recently in the last 10 to 15 years, so the campus does have a very modern feel, and the buildings are quite energy efficient with things like green roofs and geothermal heating. It is considered a self-contained campus, meaning everything that you need as a student is going to be available to you within the campus boundaries. So that includes your residence, your meals, your cafeterias, all of your classroom space, extracurricular opportunities, athletic facilities, all of that is going to be there for you within the boundaries of the campus of U of T Mississauga. With the U of T St. George campus, this is the original founding campus of the university back in 1827. So it is right in the heart of downtown Toronto because we established our plot of land and the city of Toronto grew up around us. So it's very much embedded in the heart of downtown. It is our smallest campus by footprint, but it's our largest by student population. So we have about 35,000 undergraduate students that study at U of T St. George, and this is considered a large university campus in Canada. We have lots of ways to make this campus feel a lot smaller. There's lots of layers of communities that students can be involved in on the St. George campus here. And we're going to talk about that as we continue through the presentation. With the U of T Scarborough campus, this is the campus that we have in the east end of the city of Toronto. And this is our largest campus by footprint. So U of T Scarborough has about 300 acres of space in something called the Highland Creek Valley. So there's beautiful hiking trails that you'll find around the Scarborough campus, and it's our smallest by student population. So for students looking for a small U of T campus, this is going to be it. This is going to be the U of T Scarborough campus. And we have about 14,000 students that are studying here at the U of T Scarborough campus. So again, very green, very bright, very welcoming, and also very modern. So similar to the Mississauga campus, a lot of the buildings have been built in the last 10, 15 years. So again, a very modern feel to the Scarborough campus. Now, in terms of what you can study, when you're on one of our three campuses, you're going to be part of a smaller learning community. And it could be a faculty, it could be a department, it could be a program. There's basically 5 different categories of learning communities that you can choose from when you're a student looking at U of T. There's what we call our arts, business, and science category. And then there's engineering, architectural and visual studies, kinesiology, and music. So in addition to the physical communities that you can choose from within the campuses, you'll also be choosing within the learning communities on each of those campuses. And we're going to talk about the programs more specifically in a moment. Now, when you're a student in the arts, business, and sciences, this actually makes up the largest area of program studies that you'll find. And these programs are available across all 3 of our campuses. So that includes things like humanities, social sciences, computer science, any of our life sciences or psychology, environmental science programs, all of that you will find under the arts, business, and science category, and you'll find options across all 3 of our campuses. More specifically on the St. George campus, if you're interested in those areas, you would be looking at the Faculty of Arts and Science. That's the largest faculty that we have at the university. Out of the 35,000 students we have studying at U of T St. George, around 28,000 of them are going to be in the Faculty of Arts and Science. So it is a very large college, it's a very large faculty, pardon me. And so within that faculty, we don't want you to feel like you're just one of 27 or 28,000 students. So we take students in the Faculty of Arts and Science and we break them down further into the college system. And the college system gives you a smaller community to be a part of within the larger Faculty of Arts and Science. The colleges do things like offer you academic counseling, residences, social activities. They're kind of a smaller home base for you within the larger Faculty of Arts and Science. And it's all the things that you need to do outside the classroom at U of T St. George in the Faculty of Arts and Science, you would get from your college. So it's one of those layers of communities that I mentioned earlier that we have for students on the St. George campus. And once you get to U of T, we want to ensure that you're happy and that you're reaching your full potential. And there's lots of ways that we support our students in achieving that. Things like the academic success centers, learning centers, peer mentors. Our professors all have office hours to meet with you on a one-on-one basis, counseling, as well as most of our U of T students, and most of our U of T students, I should say, take advantage of these services. So much so that 91% of our students successfully continue from year 1 into year 2. And that retention rate is a little bit higher than the average in the province of Ontario. And U of T continues to update our website in regards to the global pandemic with the most up-to-date information. The main message is that we want to share with students is that we are a supportive community for you. You're not going to be disadvantaged in any way by applying to the university with a changing in grading policies or changing in curriculum or school, depending on where you're going. If you want to learn more about how U of T is handling the pandemic, you can visit our website, which is utoronto.ca/utogether. And that website will give you information on how U of T is handling the pandemic, both for this current year and as information gets updated for the following academic year. Now, the third most important thing that we want students to know about U of T is that you can really mix and match your programs and experiences to build personalized degrees. And this is my favorite feature of the University of Toronto. It's one of the reasons that I chose to attend U of T many years ago, but it continues to be one of the best-selling features of the University of Toronto. Now, being Canada's largest university, we have over 700 different program options available to you across the 3 campuses. So that's across those arts, business, and science areas, across engineering, architectural studies, visual studies, kinesiology, and music. So we're going to talk a little bit more about some of those program options for you right now. So the largest program selection that we have for students is in those arts, business, and science options. And as I mentioned, students have the choice across all 3 of our campuses for these program areas. So things like history, English, political science, biology, computer science, you'll find all of these programs available across all 3 of our campuses. But you may also find specific or unique opportunities for students on each individual campus. For example, if you're interested in forensic science, which is my favorite program at the university, it's one of our science programs that is available only at the U of T Mississauga campus. If you're interested in learning languages, I'd recommend the St. George campus because we have over 50 different languages that you can study. And if you're interested in co-op programs or getting some relevant work experience, I may suggest the Scarborough campus to you. And we're going to talk about co-op in just a minute. But you'll find there's options across all 3 of our campuses. For students that are interested in business, the great news for you is that Toronto is the financial capital of Canada and the 3rd largest financial district in North America. So students in our business programs across all 3 campuses really get a chance to take advantage of that. The St. George campus offers a commerce program. The Mississauga campus, the Scarborough campus offers a management program, and the Mississauga campus actually offers both a commerce and a management option. So as I mentioned, lots of choice in these program areas across all 3 of our campuses. So you can really get down to what kind of area are you interested in studying more specifically within that topic, and then what kind of campus experience are you looking for when it comes to that particular program. We do have a certain number of programs that are available on individual campuses, as I mentioned, and these next 4 program areas are available on this U of T St. George campus in downtown Toronto. So if you're interested in studying engineering at U of T, that is available only on the St. George campus in downtown Toronto. And the engineering program is one of the largest and highest ranked faculties of engineering in Canada. And there are 3 ways that students can enter the engineering program at the university. There's what we call our Core 8 programs. If you know the kind of engineering program you're interested, from high school, you can apply to it directly, start it in first year, and continue for all 4 years. That includes civil, mechanical, industrial, mineral, material, computer, electrical. I'm missing one. There's 8 of them you can choose from, but there's lots of options for you. If you don't know which one of those Core 8 programs you want, you can apply to something called the Track 1 Undeclared Engineering Program, which lets you come into a general first year in engineering. Then at the end of your first year, you can choose from one of those Core 8 programs, and you'll jump into that program in your second year and continue for the following 3 years. So it's a great option for you, again, if you're undecided and you don't really know what kind of engineering you want. And the last program that we offer in the engineering faculty is engineering science, which is a very different kind of program at U of T. Students actually do 2 foundation years in engineering science, and then in their final 2 years, they can choose a specialty program, something like aerospace engineering or biomedical systems engineering. There's even a physics program within that. There's lots of different specializations within the engineering science program. So engineering, great option at U of T. These last three faculties or program areas that we have at the university are the three smallest that we have at U of T. So we've got our Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape, and Design, which is home to our Architectural Studies and Visual Studies programs. If you're interested in general design at the university, or you're interested in maybe a potential studio art program, you have that option with the Daniels faculty and their undergraduate programs. Just a note for any of you that might be interested in going on to become an architect in Canada and the US, basically in North America, students actually have to go on to do their master's programs to get the accreditation to become an architect. So at the undergraduate level, before you go into that master's program, you can definitely take our design program in architectural studies and use that as a basis to get into the master's program for architecture. If you're interested maybe in human movement and the study of human movement, the kinesiology program in the Faculty of Kinesiology and Physical Education is a great option for you. The program has lots of opportunities to apply what you're learning in the classroom outside the classroom. And so there could be things like sports practicums or placements that you'll get to do as part of the program. And graduates from this program go into fields such as physical therapy, sports medicine, chiropractics, education, and more. So it's a great option for you there. And then last but not least, we have our Faculty of Music, which is home, of course, to our Bachelor of Music degree program and some of our performance and diploma programs. And I would argue what better place to study music in Canada than downtown Toronto. We're a very musical city, we're a very musical campus, and students and faculty are involved in both on and off campus opportunities throughout the year. So it's a really, really great option. It's also our smallest faculty at U of T, so there's a lot of one-on-one attention that students get through the program. So the last thing I want to highlight just before we turn it into the Q&A is that opportunity for students to really mix and match their degree program. So even if you're coming into an arts, business, or science program, you're not declaring your specific major or your minor until the end of your first year. And if you want to study something else, you can do that. So you can be an engineering chemist, let's say chemical engineering specialist student or a student doing a chemical engineering program and add a minor in engineering business or even a minor in English. You can do a major in economics and a major in biology. You could do a major in philosophy, a major in chemistry with a minor in history. There's lots of different combinations that you can do at the University of Toronto. And we have over 10,000 different courses that you can choose from across our campuses. So lots of opportunities and flexibility to build into your degree there. And I lied, there's one last thing I want to mention before we get into the Q&A, and that are the opportunities for you outside the classroom. So I kind of hinted at some of these earlier, and we break them down into kind of three different categories for students. And the first is career-oriented or experiential learning opportunities that you have at the university. I mentioned the co-op program that we have at the U of T Scarborough campus. These are ways for you to get built-in work experiences that are related to what you're studying. The Faculty of Arts and Science on the St. George campus offers a similar style of program, as well as the Faculty of Engineering with the co-op PEY program. And these allow students in certain programs to get anywhere from 2 to 3 4-month paid work terms as part of your degree program. And they could be in Toronto, they could be international as well. We are also a major research university in Canada, so we want students at the undergraduate level to be involved in that. And you can do that as early as your second year formally through the Research Opportunity Program, which lets you do an independent research study supervised by a faculty member at the university. You can start that in your second year, continue into your third and your fourth year. And by the end of your undergraduate degree, some of our students do get published as part of their experience. We also highly encourage students to get some international experience. So by coming to Braemar, by coming to U of T, you would be coming as an international student and getting that experience, but we want you to get even more international experience. So that could be an exchange program, a study abroad program. There's lots of opportunities for you to build in additional international experiences. And the last thing I'll mention is that we also have fun at U of T. We're not just all about academics at the university. We want our students to be involved in activities outside the classroom. Could be anything from our varsity sports programs or the intramural sports programs to over 800 different student clubs, committees, and organizations that you can be a part of that are cultural, political, social, just for fun. We want you to be involved in all of that outside the classroom. So if there's 3 things that you remember about the university after today's presentation, know that we are one of Canada's best and one of the world's best universities. We also are in a great region in Canada, in the city of Toronto and the Greater Toronto area, and that really students can personalize their opportunities and their experiences at U of T and get that personalized degree. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it back over to Braemar.
Okay, Natasha, thank you so much for such a great presentation. It was really interesting and very detailed. And of course, we have some questions. And if you don't mind, I would like to address you these specific questions for the U of T. The potential student Ali is interested in the admission criteria to the U of T and the annual tuition fees. I mean, I guess the general number of the tuition fees at the U of T.
Great question. So it really depends on the kind of curriculum that your admission requirements depend on the kind of curriculum that you're coming from. If you decide to attend Braemar and you're taking your Ontario Secondary School Diploma, we're going to consider you as an Ontario high school student, in which case we're looking for your top 6 grade 12 URM courses. And we will include prerequisites in that, or we can include prerequisites in that. So as Nick mentioned earlier, you could be one of those streams within Braemar that's doing the business and technology, or the science and technology, or business or humanities. And so we'll take a look at those courses that you're taking at that level. I'm going to add a link in the chat to our other international requirements. So depending on where you're coming from, you can look at your specific country to get a sense of the admission requirements if you're not ending up taking an Ontario high school diploma. But that website also does link to the Ontario high school requirements as well. And I'm going to add one more thing. Oh, you guys already put links. Thank you so much. I'm just seeing that now. I'm going to add one more link, and that is for our International Undergraduate Admission Bulletin. This is a PDF document, so I highly recommend, if you can, view it on a computer and not on a mobile device, because there is a lot of small writing on it. But this is a great resource because it does list all of our programs. It lists common admission requirements, and it also has a tuition chart as well. So you can go online, you can see the different costs for the different programs. And I would say we average anywhere from $34,000 Canadian to upwards of 58 or 60, in the low 60s $1,000 Canadian per year for an international student. And there is a conversion chart on there as well, if you wanted to see what it is in US dollars, if that makes more sense for you instead of Canadian dollars.
Just one more question. Can international students do medicine after getting a science degree?
Great question. That is a very popular question that we get from international students. To give you a sense of how it works in Canada, just to take a step back, we are very much like the US, where students have to do 3 or 4 years of university level study first before they can apply to a faculty of medicine. That's the same for law programs, same for dentistry programs, that kind of thing. In Canada, it is possible for international students to get into the Faculty of Medicine, but it is competitive and it is a little bit more difficult than it might be for a Canadian student. And that's just because of the way the university system is set up, where we're public universities in Canada. So we have a priority to Canadian citizens and permanent residents of Canada. But the University of Toronto does take international students into our Faculty of Medicine. So it is possible. You could do 3 or 4 years of university, do really well, write your MCAT, your medical college admissions test, and apply to the Faculty of Medicine at the University of Toronto. But I will say that a lot of international students may also look at medical schools in the US, in Australia, in other countries as well, just to have a few options for them beyond just the programs in Canada.
Okay, thank you so much. And we have the last questions. Are students guaranteed entry when they achieve, when they get the OSSD? I guess entry to the U of T.
There's never any guarantees in life. So I can't say yes, for sure you're guaranteed. But doing the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, we have very clear admission requirements for students and what we're looking for in terms of competitive averages for admission, and also the requirements that we're looking for. Many of the programs at U of T and a lot of universities across Canada look at just your grades for admission. So I talked about some of those arts programs, those science programs. All of those take a look mostly at just your grades, so your academic average. So the stronger you're doing, let's say at Braemar in your OSSD, the more competitive you are for admission. There are some programs at the university that are more competitive for admission, things like engineering, business, some of our computer science programs. Those we'll take a look at a supplemental application where we want to know a little bit more about you and what you do outside the classroom. But the more that you do there and the higher your academic average, the more competitive you are for admission. So there's no guarantee, but you can get a sense of whether you're competitive or not for admission with an Ontario secondary school diploma.
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Natasha, for the all the replies. Okay, here's one more. What scholarship opportunities are available for international students? Yeah, let's start with that.
So with international students, when they apply to the University of Toronto, they're considered automatically for merit-based scholarships. So there's no separate application that you need to do to be considered for any of these merit-based awards. And the awards could be anything from a few $1,000s to a lot of money, anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 Canadian per year, renewable for 4 years. So there's no separate application. All you have to do is apply. I'm going to add a link in the chat for the scholarship opportunities, specifically for international students. And then that will give you a sense of all the different merit-based awards that you're considered for automatically just by applying.
Okay, thank you. All right, maybe any other questions from our visitors today? To Natasha or to Tolu, for example, or to Middle East region? Okay. All right, it looks like we don't have any questions more, maybe because of the extremely detailed presentation from Natasha. Thank you again so much for your time, for your participation today. Okay, we have one more. I guess the last one, if I may. Do you take in students for pre-master's programs?
So there are a couple of programs at the university that are considered almost like you come into the bachelor's degree program, and then in your third year, you can apply for early admission to a master's program. There are a couple of programs like we have that at the university, but we have our School of Graduate Studies, which has over 200 different graduate programs and 19 different faculties and departments that they work with. So really any of the undergraduate programs at U of T, students can use as a pre-master's. But there are a few combined programs where students may get into a bachelor's program and then get early admission into a master's program. There are a few that are like that, and those are listed in the International Undergraduate Admission Bulletin that I included a little bit earlier. Yeah, technically anything, I guess, is a pre-master's program.
Okay, thank you so much. I guess the question from the agent, do you work with the international agents?
We don't work with international agents for our undergraduate program recruitment. So in the area that I work, unfortunately, we do not work with international agents.
Okay. Just another question from the potential student. If there is no, it's question specifically to Natasha. If there is no guarantee, then why Braemar and not any other school as the school to study?
Yeah, there's no guarantee with any school, right? So when you're looking at the University of Toronto, and this applies to if you're looking at Braemar as well, if you're looking at coming to Canada, if you're looking at getting an Ontario secondary school diploma as a basis to go on to university in Canada, it's all about fit. And so if you're a student who's looking at, the city of Toronto, Braemar is conveniently located in the city of Toronto, right across the street from the St. George campus. If you're looking at coming to university in Toronto, it's a great way to get acclimated to the city of Toronto because you're there, you're literally across the street from the St. George campus. But again, it's going to come down to fit. And so, take a look at all of your options across Canada, across Ontario, and really factor in what kind of experience are you looking for? What kind of access to schools and opportunities to visit are you looking for? And see what is the best fit for you as a student, because there are no guarantees anywhere. No guarantees at Ridley, no guarantees at Braemar, no guarantees anywhere. But take a look at the school, the kind of supports they can offer you, the opportunities outside the classroom, which will be really important if you are looking at programs that do require supplemental applications, where they do look for you to do things outside the classroom, and see what is the best fit for you. Applies not only to university, but to high school studies too.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for the reply. I guess that was the reply similar. So maybe any other questions? In case there are no questions, we will just say thank you to Natasha. Maybe Tolu just can mention a few words about how's the Braemar in African region.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick, and thank you very much, Natasha, for this very, very wonderful and detailed presentation you have taken out time to give our agents and students who have joined the program online, who have joined the seminar online. Yes, Braemar is getting very popular in Nigeria, and we're looking forward to have quite a number of students progress from Braemar College to U of T. U of T is actually popular because I know that a few agents have come to me saying, well, I want the student to progress to U of T. So I'm hoping that we would have quite a number of cohorts that we will be sending to you, Natasha. So get ready for us. And yeah, so I'd like to also thank all the Nigerian agents that have joined and Ghanaian agents as well that have joined the webinar today. If you have any questions at all, I'm on ground here in Nigeria. I'm based in Lagos. Feel free, reach out. I'm on WhatsApp, via email, and then you can call me as well. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tolu. Thank you, everyone, again for participating today, for your time today. It was very interesting, and this video will be on our social media, on the YouTube, Facebook, and all the Instagrams that we have around the Braemar network. So thanks again, Natasha, for your time. It was very interesting, very helpful to all the potential students. Thank you so much. And I wish everyone a great week ahead. Thank you for your time.